Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Connie with Prairie Paper Crafts, coming on today to share with you a card. I previously did a project share with you. I have had multiple requests of how do I process my cards. I really don't have an answer. I'm sorry. I can show you what I did with this one and give you a general idea. I check out Pinterest a lot, get a lot of ideas and inspiration there, and then I go through my SVG files, figure out what I have, and start creating from there. So again, I don't have a good answer and I apologize, but I'm going to separate a little bit. A couple things I do have done here. I'll be showing you how I curl my paper if you're not familiar with that. I have a couple of my leaf sets done. To stop and think what side is what with the ink. These flowers were gifted to me. This is a magnolia blossom from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and my trim is also from Really Reasonable Ribbon. They have very nice flowers and dies. The leaves I cut out of Cricut Design Space, or I've gotten some 1/2 inch, like 15mm leaves from Really Reasonable Ribbon. So I've got different styles here. I just go in and pick some leaves. So kind of go through here. This is a die from my stash. This is I think either a Sizzix or an old Stampin' Up die. My other card, I used some designs from Little Scraps of Heaven designs for the greenery. I switched this up a little bit. Now you can use any kind of vines and stuff to add texture and layers. Then my little hedgehog. What I did with this one is I'm using an easel card. This is going to be, you can't see it now, but it'll form into the easel card. And this is from my Scrap Chick, I think, the easel card set. That or Cutting Cafe, I'm not sure, one of the two. Too many files. And then I resize it, and I could group all my pieces to whatever size I want. This is going to be about 4.5 inches high. Okay, and then it's about 4.25 inches wide, excuse me, but 4 inches, that's not right. I'm looking backwards at my 2, 3, 4. Yep, it's about 4.5 by 4.25, just a little over 4.5 high. And that's completely up to you how you want to size it, but I size all my pieces so they're grouped and sized together. So then I just start creating my pieces. I have this popped up on foam tape. This is going to go, I always have to think which one of these two pink pieces is the top base and which goes on the bottom. So let me grab, I thought I had everything, I'm sorry, a bone folder. The only thing I cannot find, and I had it out and I put some stuff away and I don't know where I put it, is my mouse pad for my leaves and flowers, or my leaf shaping, but we'll make do. I do burnish, I think I've said this before, back and front, flip it over, do opposite sides. And again, card base, whatever size you want it, okay? It's not going to matter. But I have to figure out of these two pinks. Oh, well, this time I know because I popped this pink up too. My poor post office, I go through a lot of postage. They wonder what I'm doing. I'm going to put this on right away so I don't get everything all mixed up. Did ink the edges this time. I don't always. You know, it just kind of depends when I feel like. My paper pieces I do, but not my cards. I don't always, if it's going to distract too much from it, I don't. But this is so pale, I decided to. So there's the base of my card. Okay, I'm going to set this stuff aside for a little bit. I'm going to come in and show you how I do my leaves. This is a piece of craft foam. It's what I use when I cannot find my mouse pad. And I have the McGill, just a set of 3. These work perfect. Embossing tools, flower shaping tools. I have another one I used to use, and I still do from time to time. It's the, it's this one. It's a Chatterbox. It's got 2 different sizes. If I have heavier paper, that's really nice because it's not a light tool at all. It really does well. So first of all, I'm going to use, this is just the size I'm using here. This is the 5mm on the wrong side of the side you didn't ink, or the back side is what I'm going to be embossing on. I just go in little circles. Hope I'm not bumping the tripod too much, I'm sorry. This is a little bit thicker paper, so I can put a little more pressure. Be careful so you don't rip the paper. I might know that from experience. Then I flip it over on one end. I just come here, and that allows me some room to glue it, and it gives it, I don't know if it'll show, quite a bit of dimension. I don't know how you can see that very well. That's all I do. And then I do come in, this is just the opposite side. It's well, it's 1mm. I sometimes use the next size bigger, but I just come in. You can use a marker, colored pencil, whatever you want. These leaves aren't going to show. Putting a center groove in, and then just some veins in, and it's just as simple as that. You can leave them flat, but I recommend trying this if you can. You'll be amazed at the dimension your card gets. I'm not sure I'm using this leaf, so I will still do it though. Again, just come back. Now if I wanted this to shape a little more, I would just come in, you know, on different spots and shape it and just play with it, really. And you can see it's wanting to cup up, which is fine. You don't want every leaf to be going the same direction. Now if you want it to come back, do this. You'll see I get a little cup there and I get more dimension yet. So that's that one. The flat things are the same. I mean the basic is there. I will do the leaves. If you want the leaf to go the other way, instead of cupping down, cup up, you do the right side. And you know, not every leaf is going the same direction, so then what I do on the little stems here, and not throughout the whole thing, but that's personal preference, I'll do some on the back. I'll just roll it around, and you see how it curves up there. And I'll come on the front, do a little bit. So you're seeing you're getting a lot of dimension there. Might come like that. And again, it's just however you want that to go. Sorry, my hand was probably in the way. Let's try this again. I'm going to do the front side this time, do down here. I apply a fair amount of pressure. It kind of varies. The more pressure, the more curl you're going to get, obviously. Like I'm not applying as much there, so I don't have as much curl. But there went our flat piece to a very curved piece. And one more here. I'll show you here, might get a better idea. This is a little bit curved because of it being in the bag, but this is the way it's cupped versus flat, so give you a better idea. Again, just sorry if I'm not in frame. I am struggling with this tripod lately. I'm embarrassed to say I took it apart the other night trying to put another extension in it, and I was sitting on my bed doing that because I'm having a lot of issues going on right now. But anyway, woke up the next morning and I thought something feels kind of weird, so I'm feeling around on the mattress, on the sheets, and yeah, one of the bolts, and the bolts are about from this dark green to the end long, and yeah, I want to say about, I'm going to say about 3/16 of an inch or so. They're a good sized bolt. Slept on it all night, didn't feel a thing. I have some serious back problems, and yeah, it was kind of scary in a way that I couldn't feel anything. There you go, there's your curled leaf. You can add a little water to spritz these. I don't need to do that. They curl up quite fine on their own. So that's that part of it. And I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the card together. Again, I have foam on this. I gave this card, the one I'd made previously, to my neighbor. She's a sweetheart, and we talk a lot. She's thought I would just give her, do something for her. And I left it on her door with something, and I like to just give things to people and, just not always be acknowledged right away for it. I'm not big on that. I like to do things sporadically. I was doing laundry one night. She came out. She was talking about the card. She said, there must be 10 layers on there, and I started laughing. I like to add a lot of dimension. Sometimes my cards get expensive to mail, and that's why I just happened to, deliver that one too, but she's just down the hall. But it's funny. But it was, when you see the smile on people's faces, it was awesome. She just couldn't thank me enough, and to make people smile like that, that's why I love to do this. So this will be going to another good friend of mine I haven't seen or talked to in years. I kind of miss her, but life goes on. All right, what I wanted to tell you is this top layer, well, all three of these layers, they're all cut, they're all part of the file. They come the size, I think make this pink layer like an 1/8 of an inch larger, because I don't like the full border all the time the first time, so that's how I did that. Okay, so I'm going to come in. We got my card base. We're only going to apply glue to this top fold, so I'm just going to kind of hold it here. And I'll show you a couple other tips and ideas of when I was putting this together, what I do, what I go through. But let me put this on the side. Maybe you can see a little better. Try to line this up. This is one of the reasons I like wet glue. I just have better luck doing things. Okay, so now, all in all, it will come in. I have my sentiment. This green piece and the white piece are again part of the file. There's also a round I don't know if there's a square one. Square ones are quite a bit easier. I don't remember. I thought there were 3 of them, but I can't remember the third one, to be honest. I don't know if it was oval or what it was. But what I kind of do is figure out where do I want my easel or my card to stand up, my base, so I can glue that on. So I'm going to do this next. And we'll start the fun part. I was going to originally just put my little hedgehog on a, I put it on a frame, and that was the end of it. I wasn't going to do any more. I'm trying to get this kind of straight and centered. After I did that, it was so boring. The hedgehog is adorable, but the card was just, to me, boring. I gotta have too much, it's gotta be busy. So imagine this to be a little bigger. Basically, this was what I was gonna do, and that was gonna be my card. It's cute, but yeah, again, not for me. So then, take this away. I started thinking, oh, I put some flowers on around, you know? Put it on like this. Well, it's still just, he needs to be offset a little bit for some reason. So then I came in and got my frame and I put it through my Chatterbox or through my Big Shot, because, you know, I gotta have embossing on things. And he just adds a little bit to pop him up to put that white on it. So I did that. And what I do is I could spend a good share of an afternoon putting a card together. And by the way, I put this on at an angle. I don't put it straight. But just to find the right pieces and fiddle with where I want things. And so, yeah, that's why I'm such a quick crafter. But gonna add him on. Before I do him, I have to put some of my leaves and greenery down. So, and what I do, I'll put that down so I kind of know where I want this. And if you didn't happen to catch it, oh shoot, there. He's also popped up on foam tape, so this card gets pretty thick. I don't know if you saw the fall moose card I did for my Cadoodlebug Designs team. I should weigh that card because it weighs a lot more than this even, so wow. So with this just being laid here, sorry I get carried away, I just start taking my greens and my flowers and figuring out kind of where do I want them, how do they look good, well, that I think. Now this one, instead of going like this, I'm going to turn it around. Go like this, and that's too far up, and then I have this other piece, put that in, okay, then I start bringing my flowers in, and I want my largest one in the corner, and I'll hold that leaf down, and I wanted my other 2. Having a struggle with my poor tweezers. I had to do some gluing. This part, the little knob inside came off, and oh, I was having a struggle. Can't go without my poor tweezers. Okay, put this one down here. Gotta get that flower up a little bit because gotta get my bow in there. This bow is 2 inches. I use my Bow-It-All, my Zutter Bow-It-All, I think it's Zutter. Anyway, oh, I love that thing. So I did that at 2 inches. I think I decided to leave this big leaf off. Or wait a minute, I can't remember. Did I want it down here? We'll put it down there for now. I don't know. My goal is not to cover up too much of the paper pieces, but keep in mind I can stand these up. So what I do is I just start kind of putting my leaves in wherever I think I want them, and then I start gluing things down. So I'm going to take this off, kind of get an idea. So I have some fine leaves and greenery here. I'm going to use my beacon glue. Keep in mind this is at an angle for you guys and for me also, just to give you a heads up on that. I do not apply glue to every single area. That allows us to stand up some, okay? So I do like to put some in the larger spots and kind of anchor spots on here. And from there, if I have to add more glue down, I will. But I know I kind of want it up here. I don't want this piece going off too far off the side, so good there. Losing my pieces. Oof. While I'm doing this, I just want to thank everybody for joining me. Welcome to my new subscribers. I appreciate all your guys' wonderful comments. I kind of got behind a little bit. I was in and out of some medical facilities last week. So it's been a crazy week and a half or so, but I'm waiting for a call back now, and of course we play phone tag, so I decided to get this video done. I was just looking, I managed to ink the wrong side of the paper. I know that because it's textured, but it doesn't hurt it any. I just was looking thinking I'm gluing the wrong side, and no, I'm not. So, and I just kind of bring this down where I think I want it there. And I think I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here. So I'm curious, have you all started on Christmas projects, or are you like me, way behind and all that fun stuff? I have some ideas. I'm working on, I don't know if you happen to see my Facebook page, a memory decks card. They're new to me, but I'm having a blast making them. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but okay. I want to get this down so I can put my flowers and greens around it. I use a lot of foam tape just so it doesn't get crushed in the mail. Well, that's my excuse anyway. We'll just leave it at that. Sorry, it's been so hot doing videos. It's been difficult. I hate to turn the air conditioner off, and it's right by where I craft, so sometimes it's been a little bit when we have like 90+ degree weather and 70% humidity, it's too much. I just can't handle turning the air off for long. But it's so far this week cooled off a little bit. I'm hoping it stays. Forgot to mention I did use Black Nouveau drops on these. I love those. Wow, I'm having a blast using those. They stick better than enamel dots too. Okay, for my flowers I use, oops, wrong one. I use Fabri-Tac, Beacon Fabri-Tac. I don't know why, but the flowers stick awesome with this. I just have the best luck, so that's what I started using. Takes a little bit to dry. It's not quite as quick as 3-in-1 or the art glitter glue. It stays put pretty much where you want it, but it takes a while to dry, but wonderful stuff. Okay, I put glue on both sides just because I think, well, it'll hit the paper one side and maybe the flower the other. So if you're wondering what in the world am I doing, that's it. And then I'm going to put this flower, and again I use my bow, excuse me. I use my Fabri-Tac, and I use my tweezers to get it in there really well. I'll show you in a minute here. I'm going to lift this up, and I push it in there so it gets a little bit of dimension, and then you can kind of fluff it out how you want. Or not. If the glue is, I would recommend waiting for the glue to dry better maybe than doing it now, but being on camera, I'm trying to just get it going here. Let's put another flower on. I love making cards, more so than even layouts. And I love doing layouts, but cards are quicker. I get something done, well, usually they're quicker. I don't know, it took me a few days to get, I have a fishing one. I'm waiting for a new tripod to come, hoping it will work better for where I'm at now, and then I can do that layout. But it took me a few days. It took me a few days to figure out the paper I wanted to use, I'll be honest with you. That's what took so long. Okay, this will stick down better, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna glue this on. This is bugging me. I probably should use some different glue, but the little other pieces on the inside, I forget to get one of these when I order something. Oh well. Let's see. And I just start sticking these in, and I don't always, sometimes they'll lay down flat, but not always, and I'm good with however they go. I really, I'm going to be without a tweezers here until that dries, and I don't know if it will. Let's see. I gotta use it. Putting one under this flower back here. Just kind of getting it tucked in there, and I want to put one under this rose back here because it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sticking up a little bit, so I'll use this bigger one. Again, this is just a different leaf from Design Space, just a little bit different style, but all good. And I think I'll put a leaf back over here. It's harder to do when I don't have it, right in front of me like this. So I'm trying to kind of figure out where I've got things and what I want where. Now when you do this, I don't recommend moving it for a little while until everything is pretty much dry. Now I'm going to come up over here and see if I want another flower. Excuse me, leaf. You can add more flowers, don't get me wrong. No, but I'm going to put one under that ribbon down here. Just kind of tucked it back down in there. And I got one there, and I'm going to leave it at that. That's my card. It's, again, just very, let me get this stuff out of the way, very simple. I just, like I said, start layering and adding things on and go from there. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you get some inspiration from this. If you have questions, let me know. Just leave a comment and I'll be glad to help you out. Otherwise, have a great day, everyone. Take care.